Hi, I'm Kyle. Welcome to KC Nerd Garage. In this video, we'll be covering the unboxing and initial setup of the Bambu Labs P1S Combo. Now you can purchase the P1S by itself, or if you do the combo, it will include the AMS Automated Material System, which fits perfectly on top and allows you to print up to 4 colors simultaneously. Now the cool thing about the AMS is if down the road you wanted to add more, you can add up to 3 additional units, which will allow your printer to print up to 16 colors at once. We'll also be covering some additional add-ons that I purchased with the printer, and also everything that comes in the box with the combo, so you know what to expect. I do have to say, this is the easiest 3D printer I've ever put together. It comes basically completely built. Really, for the unboxing, you're really just removing the AMS system from inside the unit, plugging them in, and they're basically ready to print from there. I will say I ran into one tiny issue getting the printer connected to my Wi-Fi. That was completely because of the way my Wi-Fi is. I have Google Fiber, and it is a mesh Wi-Fi. It doesn't allow you to select between 2.4 and 5 gigahertz, which these printers have to be on a 2.4 connection. So we'll cover that later in the video. I was able to get that resolved fairly easily, but it was one issue that I ran into. So I wanted to mention it and include it in case it's something that you face as well. But other than that, setup was extremely easy. The user manual is very detailed. Everything is labeled very clearly on the inside, and with a step-by-step process, you can get everything up and running within 15 minutes. Say I probably took closer to 30 because I was trying to be very thorough and really investigate all the pieces and parts together. But at the end of the day, it was all very easy to get out of the box and ready to print. We'll also do a couple test prints, and then at the end of the video, I will share my final thoughts. So thank you for watching. Let's get into it. Box, let's let you pick it up from the bag that the printer is in. So let's just hope it doesn't rip. And there it is. All right, this is the front. Cool little sticker sheet. And this is the combo, so it has the AMS inside the body. All right, the glass top lifts right off. And here is the AMS. There's an accessories box. Look at that. Allen wrench included in the accessories. Comes with the hot end, the filament holder, your screen, and a maintenance kit. And there is the Allen key. You can see it there, but the instructions have really clear design with arrows here to show you exactly what you need to undo to get the AMS out. And there it is. So here. Desiccant. All right, and then there are 4 more screws, and they have arrows as well for removing this bracket here that was holding the AMS in place. All right, now so the 4 screw holes were indicated by those arrows. I don't think we need that one. This is for the AMS. All right, and then there is a foam insert in the chute. You remove like that, and the cardboard around the head of the tool. Make that clear. That was over here was the styrofoam, and then the cardboard around the head. Alright. Then after that it has you set up the AMS. So take this off of the door. Alright, so the AMS will sit on the top. It comes with some extra PTFE tubing. And there are 2 compartments for the desiccants, and the same with 2 pouches of desiccant. So they're in a plastic bag, so it says open them up before use. And we have compartments that they fit in right down below, and these clip right back in place. So you back those 2 compartments in the back is where the desiccant goes in place, and those are your 4 heads for your filament to be fed through. All right, so for installing the AMS next, you have your PTFE tubing right here. Which will go straight into the hub down below. It just clicks in place and you can't pull it out. And then there are 2 cables that we need to plug in next. There is a 4-prong cable and a 6-prong, and you want the 6-prong for the AMS. There's 2 ports on the back of the AMS, either will work. This one here. Place, and then the other one goes down here. And then for the 4-prong, I've got 1 in the bottom, and then 1 over here. Now you have the extra adapter because the AMS can support up to 4 of these units, so the P1S can actually print up to 16 colors. But for this case, we'll just have 4. All right, next is the spool holder. So they do have a spool for extra filament, or spool holder that comes with the unit. And this is for the case if you just buy the unit without the AMS. your spool would be mounted on the back and it can do a single feed. Well, we can put this on just to have it. If you have the AMS, you can also just use this as storage if you wanted to store an extra roll. Or you can just have it there. All right, so moving on to the next piece. Quick shout out to Bambu for these instructions and make everything extremely easy. It's like there's 3 more screws labeled with arrows on the inside that we move next. All right. So that was to unlock the bed. And next we're going to install the screen for the P1S, which is this part here. It's not as nice as the touchscreen they have on the A1 or the X1C. However, you can upgrade this model to a touchscreen, which might be something we do in the future. And once it's plugged in, it just snaps on. Like so. All right, and then for this, it says to download the Handy app. Which that's the other thing with this printer, you have this screen, but for the most part, you can operate it completely from the app itself. All right, I grabbed my phone so we could kind of take a look from this other angle. As I said before, the instruction manual that comes with this is amazing. They do such a good job for just attention to detail on this. Huge kudos. This is the easiest 3D printer I've ever set up. I'm only comparing that to an Ender 3 V2, but either way, this thing pretty much came completely assembled. All you had to do, very detailed instructions on what to remove, how to plug in the AMS, the screws you need to remove before moving on. Here's the last step we just did. Right now, I'm downloading the Bambu Handy app and signing into my account. I did already have an account, but with this step is gonna have you sign into your account, select the printer that you have, so I can pick the P1S, and then hopefully we can do a test printer. So here's just another view. Like I said, the PTFE tube goes right into this little circle here. You plug it in until it snaps. These are super easy to plug in. The cords, you feel everything click. Great design. Another one down here that goes over here, and then as we put in earlier is the filament holder. This is the poop chute. This is where your filament's going to come out during spool changes or color changes. There's a lot of options to print little baskets that'll catch this, so I'm sure we'll print one of those. Here's this angle for the AMS. Looks super, super clean on top of the P1S, fits perfectly. Nice glass, plastic I should say, but a nice lid. This is where you're going to feed your filament in. Each roll can sit here. There's rollers here that they'll roll on. And this is the desiccant areas that I showed earlier. So you put your desiccant in there. You can change it out whenever it's needed, but super easy. Put it in, push till it clicks, and you're done. Then on here, the last round of screws we removed, everything is clearly labeled with these red arrows, makes it super easy. There is some styrofoam under there. I think we're gonna raise the bed up and pull those out. Here's the nice textured bamboo build plate, which is super nice. It's really good for adhesion. I also purchased the smooth plate. These are my extra boxes. We'll go through and look at all the extra things I ordered with it. So here's the inside of the printer. You have your light right here. For the video camera that is up in the corner right here. And that can do really cool time-lapse videos. There's your poop chute portion back here, and then your printer head right here. So a few more things I need to clean up in here, and we should be good to power it up and try a print. Oh, also wanted to show what else came in the box. Packaging, super nice, really sturdy. There's some extra filament rolls down in the bottom. Also, it looks like, oh, the support PLA as well, which you want to use for supports. And I think that's it. One other box. Piano music box hand winding kit. Interesting. Looks like it came with a little model to put together too. Super cool. Here's that support PLA, which I've seen the really good reviews on these. I've never used it before, so that'll be cool to check out. And then 2 spools. Looks like about a half spool. They gave you orange PLA basic and a, looks like that's the Bambu Lab green PLA basic as well. Really cool. Get some extra spools. And I think that's everything in the box. Just to go back to what came with the AMS, it came with some backup PTFE tubing. I almost ordered some when I made my initial purchase, but I decided to hold off, and I'm happy I did because it does come with extras anyway, which is good to know. This is the hot end that comes with the printer. And that's the stainless steel. I don't know if we have to install that or if that's just a spare. Looks like that might be a spare. So it comes with one spare hot end. 0.4, which is cool. Looks like it comes with a couple spare accessories in here. Okay, so I opened the accessories bag because I always was curious as what comes in this. So for the scraper tool, you actually get some extra razor blades in there and some magnet strips. So you can make a scraper, which is one of the free prints we can do. So the grease for the X and Y axis. Looks like some extra screws for the extruder. These are the nozzle wipers, I believe. Extra of those. Some extra pieces for your hot end as well. This is some of the other grease that you can use, I believe. Yep, more grease. And then this one, let's see what this one is. Oh, the thermal paste. Okay, so extra grease and thermal paste. And then also it did come with the filament cutters. That's what those look like. 2 heads for the filament cutters. So you have extra parts and replacements for really everything you would need for this printer. I ordered extras of those because I wasn't sure what exactly it came with, but you really don't even need to for right off the start. I mean, it comes with backups for almost everything, which is awesome. Little pins, a little pin for cleaning the hot end, and another Allen wrench. So can't say it enough, super impressed with everything that comes with it. It really is a plug and play. You have all the backups you could possibly need. They give you filament, they give you everything. I mean, we could get ready to print right now. All right, so I downloaded the handy app. Next steps from here is we needed to connect this to power. So the plugs in back here. I did connect it, and we're ready to power it up. And then the screen should give you a QR code for scanning and binding your printer. All right, we did remove those already. I'm gonna select our region. I'm in North America. And now here's where we can scan the QR code. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that by my printer, and let's take a look at what it looks like next. Okay, I had issues getting the handy app connected through the Wi-Fi. I'm assuming because I have Google Fiber and it needs to be on 2.4, so I need to try and get this connected. I've had issues in the past, but I should be able to get it connected. But anyway, I was able to skip ahead and just do the self-test, so that's what it's doing right now. It's going through self-testing, automatically lifts the bed up, and is going to do some vibration tests. And there's the foam pieces at the bottom. It says to leave those there until this is done, and then I'm assuming it'll be much easier to pull out now that it's free. So I think this takes a few minutes. I'm gonna let this finish its tests. You can hear it. But I do like the spot, it's nice and sturdy. And yeah, disclaimer, now that that's done, you can open this and these parts easily come out now. The last of the styrofoam. And I think there's one little piece of tape I gotta get off that hot end. We'll go ahead and get that in there. Other than that, it's ready. All right, so I had to move this up into the office to fix the Wi-Fi issue that was happening. So I got this connected to the Handy app. I was getting a DHCP error when I was trying to do the initial setup. Reason being, if you have Google Fiber, which I have the Google Fiber Mesh Network, it doesn't give you an option to select 5 gigahertz or 2.4, and these run off 2.4, so it has to have that connection or the connection will fail. Now these mesh networks are supposed to automatically recognize the device and put it on the correct one, but for some reason it was repeatedly failing. So what I ended up doing was setting up a guest network with my Google Fiber, and I was able to get it to connect with that, and also link my account once it was connected to the Wi-Fi. So we have the account, it is connected to the guest network still, and then you get to set a name, pick Serenity, and yeah, so we have everything set up. You can see all of these preloaded STL files on here, so we're probably going to go through and print a few of these. Definitely check out Benchy. I did look up on the wiki. You can actually see pictures of what all of these files are. Unfortunately on this screen it just gives you the name. I know on the A1 and the X1C they do have the nicer screens which will actually show you what the model is. But you can do a lot of things from the Handy app itself and see exactly what you're going to be printing when you send it to the printer. So I'm probably going to move this back to my shop. My old 3D printing setup was over here, which the P1S will not fit. So I'm actually going to be building a new workbench for that, but that'll be another video. So I'm going to wrap this up and get this taken back downstairs. All right, now that I have the printer connected and powered on, these are the filaments that came with the combo kit. So you get the PLA and PETG support filament, and then 2 colors, the green and the orange. But let's go ahead and get into the accessories that I purchased. Fix that a bit. All right. Now, if you do purchase this from the Bambu website, they do give a discount on any accessories that you'd like to add for your printer. So I did take advantage of that. I got the extra rolls of filament, which I think came out to $15.99 a piece with the spools included, which was a great deal compared to what I've paid before on Amazon. So I wanted to capitalize on that. I know they do have a price increase due to the tariffs recently, but this is what I paid at the time of my purchase. So with taking advantage of that sale, I bought an extra 25 rolls just because I wanted to make sure I had a lot of filament so I can really test this printer out and be able to print everything that I want. So I have some PETG white. I ordered a few of those. I'm primarily just going to be printing with PETG and PLA to start. The P1S does allow for other material printing as well, which is why I landed on this instead of the A1. You never know what you want to print in the future, but for starters, I thought this was a great start with the PETG and PLA, just to really see the quality and type of prints we can get. I also ordered a couple PLA metal, which look really cool. This is the copper, and there's a cool blue color as well. Yep, there's the cobalt metallic, so I think we can print some cool things with that color. Really excited to see how that comes out. Also purchased a couple PLA silk, the gold and silver, see what that comes out like. On my Ender 3, I tried printing some silk, and it did not print well at all. Now I've seen people print with it before on the P1S, and it looks amazing, so I'm really looking forward to see the quality that we can get out of this. Alright, so it looks like this is just some of our PLA and PETG. And we should have more in our other box. Alright, so let's get these organized. Here's our PETG. I got primarily black and white with the PETG, so I'm really just going to use that to print some models and prototypes, and then I'll probably use that for some of the accessories for the printer itself. We have quite a few options for PLA. So they have a PLA matte that I got as well. I'm interested to see what that is. I have charcoal, white, and blue in the matte colors. PLA metal and silk, which I had already talked about. Those are more shiny. And then just the basic PLA colors. Tried to get one of really every color that they offered with the discount, just so we have it. These extra accessories here. This is the glue stick, which happened to come with the smooth plate, just in case you had issues with plate adhesion. They did include it, and it was included in the combo. I don't know that we'll necessarily need it, but it's cool if they included it, so we can try it if we do have issues. Here's the extra plate. There it is. It's going to be the smooth PEI plate. And this will, anything that you print face down, it's going to allow for that first layer to be really, really clean. I really got this because I know there's some coasters that we want to try printing, and I've seen just the results in this giving you the kind of a mirror finish on that first layer, which I think will look really great. All right, see what's in here. Oh, this is the extra. I just ordered some backup packages of desiccant, which you can store in the AMS, help make sure the filament stays dry and avoid any moisture getting in there. So these are some backups. These are some backup nozzle wipers, which the system did come, the combo kit did come with some backups as well. I wasn't sure if they would include it, so I ordered some. It was just a couple bucks to throw in, so I did. Doesn't hurt to have extras. This is the all-metal extruder. All right, so I ordered the hardened steel extruder. You do need this if you want to print certain materials, which one material I do want to try out is the PLA carbon fiber. I've seen some people use it, and it has a really cool result. So I bought this just so I have it in the future if I want to print with any of those harder materials. You'll also need the hardened steel hot end to go with that. I don't know if the extruder is actually necessary, but it is recommended. But you do definitely need the hardened steel hot end in order to print those materials as well. So I did order that as well, which is actually right here. So this is the hardened steel hot end. I got it in the 4mm, and it does include that extra fan on the back of it. What's cool is the combo did include a backup stainless steel hot end, but we also have the hardened steel for when we want to try printing those other materials. These are some extra filament cutters. I have seen these can get dull and people replace these. Combo kit also included, I think, 2 of these, but I ordered a few extras just to have them. This is extra of the lubricant packets, which also came with the combo, but we have a couple extras now. And then also the oil, which you'll need for your axis and gears. Big thing I've seen with these Bambus is just make sure that you take care of them and do the maintenance, and you shouldn't have really any issues at all. So again, those are all the accessories that I figured would be good to have. And now let's get into some test prints. All right, now that I have everything unboxed and the P1S connected, let's go ahead and load up the AMS. So with the spools, I'm just going to put the spools that came with it. It came with that Bambu orange, or a basic feel, basic orange, half roll, and also that Bambu green half roll. Now when I store these with my PLA, I like to save these desiccant bags and I put them just in gallon baggies and seal it. Helps keep moisture out. I haven't had any issues. I don't know if that helps a lot, but it seems to help, at least in my situation. I am going to put 2 more rolls in. I did order this PLA matte black. It's actually called charcoal, which looks really cool. So I'm excited to see how this comes out. It's a real pretty matte black. And then just a basic white. From the instructions, the AMS should recognize the filament once it's in and will actually auto feed it once it detects filament in the hole here. So let me just grab this. So all the filament rolls will fit here on these rollers, and then you feed it into these holes, and once it detects it, it'll automatically pull it in. Which, if you've had a 3D printer in the past, like I did, and a 3V2, this is way easier than what you used to have to do anytime you had to switch filament rolls. Another really awesome thing that Bambu Labs has done with their PLA and their ecosystem is that when you put this in, each PLA comes with a little chip on the inside, and the AMS can auto detect the color and type of filament that you're putting in. Just like that. Just like that, it accepted it. So you do have to push up on these a little bit. To get it to accept. There's a little give, you just push it slightly back and then it'll accept the PLA as you put it in. But overall, looks like it did accept that pretty easily. So I'll go through and get the rest of these rolls installed. Looks like it auto adjusts to make sure it has a good grip, which is a really cool feature. Oh, that's so cool. Just like that, 4 colors are loaded. Look, it's still adjusting the white, make sure it has good grip on it. But now they are all detected. So I'm going to lock this up, and then we can go in and do our first print. I do want to show you one thing here. This is where the micro SD card is. It does label it cold swappable. Oh, and it stays there too. So just very important, if you do have a print going, you cannot remove this. So it's just something to be aware of in the future. All right, so this does have preloaded files already on this card. So I just went ahead and picked the Benchy that's pre-installed. So it's right now, it's kicking off the print. So first thing, it's gonna bring the bed and the hot end up to temp. I believe it's gonna have a calibration test that it goes through as well. I'm not sure if that's programmed on this one. I assume it is. I know it is something you can program on your prints from the Handy app. But it says this should take about 26 minutes. So we'll go ahead and kick this off. The video just started off, so it did do the pre-calibration, which took about 6 minutes. Should be a 20-minute Benchy. As you can see how fast the print head is moving. Project looks like soon. All right, the Benchy is complete. Go ahead and pull this out and take a look. Had no issues adhering to the textured PEI plate. Popped off real easy. And overall is super clean for how fast that was. Barely any stringing. Oop. Helps for showing. Barely any stringing. You can see the textured PEI plate. Leaves a little texture on the bottom. But all in all, never seen a Benchy done in 19 minutes. It's pretty flawless. Can't wait to start the next print. We're going to do the bamboo scraper. All right, so the scraper just finished. So I'll go ahead and take a look at how this came out. Which so far I have to say it is perfect. Really like the color of that matte PLA. Came out very nice. Cleaning. Then you can see the textured from the textured plate. These final two parts right here. Plate comes off really easy, slides back in place. There's guides. Oh, I forgot to get the whole strip off. The combo kit came with the pieces for the scraper. So I'm going to use these parts to attach the blade, and then there's a magnet that goes on these as well. Came with it. All right, so I have all the parts. This print is done, and these are the pieces that come with the printer. So you get a blade for the scraper, which will fit right onto the print. There's just like so. Fits right on. And then this piece will go on the bottom, and you'll screw this all in place with the screws that were included. Does go on super easy once you get the screws lined up. That's the only tricky part. But printed super clean. Did the logo in green. Try out the multicolor printing, and there's your scraper for getting anything removed off the plate. Also came with 2 magnets, which is pretty cool. One magnet will go on the scraper itself right here, this notch that was printed. So that magnet fits perfectly there. Also came with another magnet that fits perfectly in the print for the holder. So you can go ahead and stick this to anything metal you have in the area. And then the blade is protected when it's not in use. So overall, cool print, went together pretty easily. I think it's cool they included the parts, so you could make this as one of the first prints. Made it this far in the video, I want to say thank you for hanging out. This is the first time I've ever done anything like this, so I really appreciate you sticking around with me. So final thoughts on this printer. I am blown away. Everything you've heard and read about Bambu Labs, I can say is true. The printer was extremely easy to put together. Everything went together the way you would expect it to, and there were clear directions every step of the way. The Handy app makes everything from your phone printing just, it's so nice. I'm at a loss of words. I had the Ender 3 V2 for the last 5 years, and honestly, every time I pulled it out to use it, it felt like more of a chore because of all the things I had to put in place just to get a print to work. Bambu Labs has taken all of that work for you. When I found the print for this scraper, I literally found it on the app. I selected my printer, I picked my colors out, it recognized my printer, and I sent it, and it just printed. The printer did everything else on its own. It also took a video of the time lapse, which is such a cool feature, so you can see how your pieces come together. The Benchy took about 19 minutes to print. My previous printer took about 2 hours and 10 minutes, and the quality, you can't really tell the difference. It's amazing how far the technology has come, and really everything that Bambu Labs has done. So I'm really excited to be part of the Bambu Lab ecosystem, and I look forward to making more videos. But I'm here to say, if you're on the fence about if you should get the P1S, I can't recommend it more. I know Bambu offers a lot of great printers. I was on the fence. I almost bought the A1, but I'm really happy I went with the P1S. The enclosure is beautiful, and it offers a lot more options in the future. Right? You can print more materials, and there's also a lot of upgrades available. So I stand behind my purchase so far. I really love it, and I plan to do another video in about 6 months when I get some more use with it and a lot more prints out of it to give another review. But I just want to say thank you for your time again. If you have any questions on any of the content we covered today, please leave a comment below. And also, if you found anything that I covered today helpful, I really appreciate a like, and I'd love to hear from you below. But until then, I'll catch you in the next video. Thank you.